Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for October 24, 2023, the California Standard Edition. And we begin with that story from the New York Times, which reports that California Governor Gavin Newsom wants to export California's climate laws to the world. And he is supercharging climate policy. The significance to this for every U.S. company is there's no national standard. The SEC has futzed around for basically 2023 and 2022 and 2023 and hadn't said anything. Well, if California sets a standard, any company that does business in the state of California, and maybe with those who do business in the state of California, are going to be impacted. So what do you think the idiot magma hat wearing states like Texas, Alabama, or you name it are going to do? Say it's illegal to follow the law of California? Good luck with that. Next up from the Washington Post. What do you do when an interviewer asks you about your personality? The question was posed from an interviewer. How would your best friend describe you? Number 1, do I have any friends? Number 2, what do they think? Number 3, how the heck would I know? Well, guess what? That's really a lot of things that interviewers will trick you with, and it shows a personality interview as opposed to a skills-based interview, and requires candidates to think on many levels. But the inappropriateness of this is certainly clear. Is it fair or not? Well, maybe not. Maybe so. Next up from the Financial Times, a continuing fallout of the UK upholding the termination of Sazbalik Fedeki, a senior analyst at Citibank who was fired after cheating on his expense accounts and then lying about it to the company internally. Well, apparently the author, Pilita Clark, is shocked that, number 1, fraud goes on in expense accounts, and number 2, that, banks are about as corrupt institutions as there are, and they're getting fined a lot of money. And $400 million in 2018 from Citibank alone. So why are they picking on the little people? Well, you cheat on your expense accounts, and fraud is fraud. Even if it happens at the top level. And our final story is that the United States is finally trying to forfeit a Russian oligarch's super yacht. Go get them, guys. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.